So no doubt this is one of the worst episodes of Star Trek, the original series. When I first watched it, I watched the edited version, and that even didn't make any sense because all the shitty juxtaposition about alternate universes and two people sharing the same universe and all kind of craziness didn't go. This was season 1, episode 27 of the first season of Star Trek. Written by Don Ingalls and directed by Jared Oswald. First aired on March 30th, 1967. In the episode, the crew of the USS Enterprise encounters a reality-jumping madman. It's the first Star Trek episode to deal with a parallel universe. Now, feature music by Alex Courage, with cinematography by the great Jerry Finnerman. It was a 20th episode produced, but was number 27. Robert Brown gives such an over-top performance as Lazarus, Janet McLaughlin and Lieutenant Charlene Masters, Richard Durr as Commander Barstow, and Eddie Paskey as Lieutenant Leslie. Now, this was before Aaron and Mercy and the City on the Edge of Forever, so this was probably made the City of the Edge of Forever seem 50 times better because this is bad. Now, in this one, the USS Enterprise is rocked by an energy pulse. Science Officer Spock informs Captain Kirk that the gravity pull of the planet fluctuated to zero and the surrounding space momentarily winked out of existence. Sensors located a human presence on the planet that was not there before. Spock and Kirk beam down to the planet and find a one-man spacecraft. A disheveled man named Lazarus appears and slips off a cliff. He is injured and Kirk has him beamed to the Enterprise for examination. Now back on the ship, Lieutenant Masters informs Captain Kirk that a mysterious disturbance has drained the lithium crystals in the warp drive. A message from Starfleet reports that every quadrant has been subjected to the same winking effect, an electronic disruption. Starfleet fears that the disruption may be a prelude to invasion and has ordered all ships except the Enterprise to leave the area. Kirk is then ordered to find the cause of the disturbance. Now, Lazarus periodically fades in and out of the universe, encountering a look-alike enemy in a dimensional corridor. Bad special effects. You have basically a fog machine and everything is like twisted. This creates an energy wink. Spock reports a rip in space and time on the planet. Lazarus says his enemy, trying to destroy the universe, is causing the phenomena. Lazarus demands the lithium crystals so he can fix his ship and continue to fight his enemy. Kirk refuses. Lazarus steals the lithium from the Enterprise and is caught. Lazarus denies the theft and blames it on his nemesis. Now, the only difference is, of course, that really shitty beard that he had on. Now, Kirk beams back to the planet with Lazarus and the security team to seek the enemy. Lazarus has another dimensional corridor episode as returned to sickbay. Lazarus explains to Kirk that he's a time traveler. His spaceship is actually a dimensional corridor gateway, and the planet below is once his home world. Lazarus claims his enemy destroyed his civilization in the past, for which Lazarus has chased him for centuries. Kirk is puzzled by Lazarus leaping in this universe. One minute he is wounded and insane, the next minute he's strong and rational. Both Kirk and Spock realize the answer is Lazarus is actually two different beings. One, this universe insane, and the other, antimatter universe, rational. Kirk and Mr. Spock develop a hypothesis that Lazarus' enemy is his counterpart from an antimatter universe. If he and his anti-self contact each other within their physical universe, outside the dimensional corridor, they would annihilate both the matter and antimatter universe. When Lazarus slips away from sickbay and creates a diversion in engineering to acquire the lithium, and with the stolen crystals, he beams down to the planet to repair a ship. Kirk follows, but the time machine activates just as Kirk enters the ship. Kirk is teleported to the antimatter universe, where he meets the anti-Lazarus. The anti-Lazarus admits to stealing the Enterprise dilithium to prevent his doppelganger from using it to invade the antimatter universe outside the dimensional corridor. He informs Kirk that his people believe two universes existed, and when his Mather counterpart learned about it, he went insane and began obsessed with destroying his doppelganger. He tells Kirk that only by destroying Lazarus' ship, which also destroy anti-Lazarus' ship, while the two Lazarus are inside a negative magnetic dimensional corridor which links the two universes, can both universes be saved. Kirk states that the destruction of the ships, which are portals, would trap the two Lazaruses in the corridor throughout time. When Kirk confronts the Matter Lazarus and pushing him to the dimensional door, Kirk heads back to the Enterprise, ordering the ship's phasers to target the dimension ship. So the effect is everything is twisty and you get this noise, and you can tell it's a fog machine on the floor and they're just fighting. That's the special effect. The two Lazarus meet once more and fight inside the dimensional corridor as phaser beams vaporize the ship gateway between the universes. And it takes a while for the ship to blow up, which makes no sense. On ship, Kirk muses that all the universes are safe for you and me. The two Lazarus are trapped forever. But what of Lazarus? What of Lazarus? Yeah. Thanks for wasting 51 minutes of our time. Now, ironically, a iconic member of the Barrymore family, John Drew Barrymore, was cast as Lazarus, but failed to show up at filming without explanation. The part was quickly recast for Robert Brown. The producers filed a grievance with SAG, which suspended Barrymore's membership for 6 months, preventing him from working as an actor during that time. Special effects for the extra-dimensional winking episodes were achieved by superimposing a moving photograph of the Trifid Nebula over the action. Now, Zach Hanlon of the AV Club, 42 years for his initial debut, gave the episode a C- rating, describing the plot as baffling, unrewarding, and poorly paced. A ranking of every episode of the original series by Hollywood.com places episode 77th out of 79. Of course, This Way to Eden and Turnabout Intruder, both third season. So for the first season, this was shit. In 2017, Den of Geek ranked this episode as the 6th worst Star Trek episode of the original series. Now, in 2016, CNET ranked The Alternative Factor as the 9th worst episode of Star Trek, based on rankings between an audience and discussion hosts at a 50th anniversary Star Trek convention in LA. So, the idea, ladies and gentlemen, it's not the fault of the director, not the fault of the script, and for what he's given, Robert Brown, who's a very talented actor, did his best. Now, Robert, who passed away in 2022, basically at 95, had been an actor pretty well for 50 years. Now, he had a starring role as the charismatic, fast-talking Jason Bolt in the 68-70 ABC television series Here Comes the Brides, and he also starred as Carter Primus, the 72 syndicated Sea Adventure TV series Primus. He also was cast as a minister in an episode of the NBC Western TV series Bonanza, Blessed Our Day, and he appeared as both of the two beings, again, the alternative factor. He died in Auger, California. Now, he was a close friend of Carolyn Connor and appeared in an episode of Archie Bunker's Place in 79, and the episode of The Heat of the Night titled Poor Relations, which aired in 94. His only feature film credits are the science fiction film The Flame Barrier and the horror film Tower of London, which is very underrated, actually. In 75, Brown appeared as the son of a murder victim in a Columbo episode of Playback. So again, Robert Brown, very, very talented guy, just given like a bad... But Barrymore really fucked up his career. And if you don't know who that Barrymore is, I'm going to give you a little hint. Who is his famous daughter? Who is his famous daughter? Take a guess. Take a guess. Yes, Drew Barrymore. So again, very good actor, but you know, the last pretty well freaked out Barrymore besides Drew in the first few years of his life. So that's the story of an alternative factor. If you like what we're doing here with our Star Trek essays and podcasts, let us know with our remote control column what you think. Give us your worst Star Trek episode. What would be worse than this? Because there's, again, Turnabout Intruder and This Way to Eden. Have a good one. Bye.